Cool. Okay. So I started looking at the practice problems like yesterday and today, and they like helped me fix up some stuff that I didn't know. They were really helpful. So I just wanted to see if we can go through some today. Let me pull them up. Right. Here we go. So these are the problems. They're 1 through 40. We don't have to go through all of them. So I was thinking we could do just a handful from each section just to review some main concepts. Let's see if we know. We got, in first section, we got 6 questions. Which questions do you guys want to do?
Can we start like from the beginning?
Yeah, sure.
So how are we doing this? Are we doing this by ourselves or as a group?
We're just gonna do it by ourselves just to see if we get the answer and then just
Okay.
check
Got
in
it.
with each other.
Sounds good.
I can't do that. Okay, and then we can just do the first 2 and then checking about those. Okay. I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit. Just gonna, you guys answer 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Here is 3 and 4. Okay, I'm gonna go down to 4. and then just 5 and 6. Okay. You guys ready to see the answers? You guys want a little bit more time?
I'm ready. Everyone else is.
All right. Let me stop sharing for a quick second. Put this up. If you can hear my roommates in the background, I apologize. I'm very noisy sometimes. Okay. Here's the answers. You guys can check them off. And then after we check off our answers, we can just talk about it. Yeah. They're all in the yes. It's gonna be like a minute, but yeah. Minute? Yes. Sorry about that. Okay. Is there anyone that you guys like want to talk about?
Can you go through 4?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So consider a graph on which one good y is on the vertical and the other good x is on the horizontal. On this graph, the income consumption curve has a positive slope for low incomes, and it takes a 0 slope for higher income, and then it takes a negative slope for even higher incomes. So it's an arc, and then this curve illustrates that for all income levels. Yeah. For me, my rationale was like the only good that's increasing throughout all of that is x, since it just keeps going on the x-axis. I thought, okay, so for any income, like x is going to be normal. I don't know.
Yeah, and then so the second part of that question and the same thing, where it said it looks like an arc. The way I thought about it was, so if the other good, you reach a point, income's still going up, but it's going down. That means the higher the income, the less demand for the good, which most likely means it's an inferior good. Because the higher the income, the less you're gonna want the inferior good. I don't know
So,
if that makes
okay,
sense.
wait, because the higher the income, you're buying more X, right? and then that makes X a normal good?
Yes, because it's just essentially just normal good. The higher the income, the more you're gonna buy.
Okay. Wait, what's the definition of an inferior good again?
I don't know the exact definition, but I know it's pretty much like it's a good that is bought at like a lower income level. Like once you reach a certain income level, it's kind of like the example of like if you're at a lower income, you'll buy like hamburgers, but once you reach a certain income, you're not gonna buy hamburgers because you're gonna buy steak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Did that
you.
help at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do 6?
Yeah, sure. If an angle curve has a positive slope, answer.
Basically, I just need to go over what an angle curve is again. I think after that, I'd probably understand.
Yeah, sure. Let me go. Yeah, I have like my notes right here. So on the angle curve, the income is on the y-axis, and then the quantity of like whatever product you're looking at is on the x-axis. And if it's a positive slope, that means like as your income increases, so does the quantity of the item you're buying. So
And
yeah.
the angle curve, it's only in relation to one good, correct?
Yeah.
So so that means like C and D would be automatically wrong, or like anything that has two goods, all the other answer choices.
Those are different curves.
Okay.
What's the is the demand curve the one with the what's it called? The price of the good on the y-axis and then the amount of goods you buy on the x-axis? Is
Yeah.
that the curve? Yeah, right? Okay. And then angle is with the one with the income on the y-axis.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't even read this explanation. It basically that's what I said. But yeah, that's it. So since it's going up, it's going to be normal. It's going to be inferior if it's like you have income on the y, quantity on the x, and then the curve first starts going up. That's the like normal part of it. But when it starts going back, like as your income increases, your quantity decreases, then it's an inferior good.
I feel like the way that she worded the answers was kind of confusing because she referred to income as a good. Did anyone else find that odd, or is that normal?
Wait, what do you mean?
She said, as the price of the good on the vertical axis increases. She didn't say income. She said the price of the good. Because isn't an angle curve just income and quantity demanded of a one good? So why is she saying like a good on the vertical axis?
Oh, I see what you mean.
I think that's how you know it's wrong. Because
Yeah,
there's
I think that's the giveaway. Is that I think with like a question with the angle curve is any like answer that has two goods, I think is kind of the giveaway that it's wrong.
But that was the right answer. Oh,
It's B.
no B.
no, it was B. I thought it was D. Okay, never mind. My bad.
You're good.
For the ones where there's two goods graphed, how do you tell like the income? I think like kind of like 4. I'm kind of confused on that. Like
Oh,
not with this specific problem, but just like in general. Like how do you, I don't understand how you like specifically with like the y-axis. How do you tell the income?
I mean, I think for this one, it's just saying like the demand of the products, like at a certain price, and I'm pretty sure you can. There was a formula she gave in class. It was like I is equal to like the price of y plus times y plus the price of x times x. So you can derive income from that, but yeah, I think for this question, it's just asking like what type of good do we have?
Yeah.
You guys want to cover any more from the first 6? Or you guys want to move on? You good? All right.
Sorry, actually, can we do 3?
No, you good. Okay. So these following statements to answer this question. Price consumption curve is derived by varying. I'm sorry, I'm a little loopy today. Derived by varying the price of asparagus. If the price consumption curve is an upward sloping straight line, the demand curve for asparagus must be downward sloping. And the second statement is with Fred. He's consuming only food and clothing. Fred's angle curve traces out the utility maximizing combinations, and so on. So we can start with the second statement. As we talked about, the angle curve on the y-axis is going to have income, not the other good. So that just automatically makes it false. And then for the first one, the price consumption curve, derived by the varying the price of the asparagus, that checks out.
But why does the demand have to be downward? Like, I get why it could be, but why must it be?
I'll be sure. I'll be honest. I don't know the answer to that one. Does anyone?
I think it's because, so I like drew the graph, right? And like, so for like the price consumption curve, that's basically saying like, trying to figure out like if the price of asparagus is like the horizontal axis and let's say like some other good is the y-axis, that means like, I'm drawing it, that if the price consumption curve is, they said upward, right? That basically means that like, if that's asparagus and that's the other good, that means like these are the different budget lines, which means as obviously as price of asparagus like increase, like as you get like the price of asparagus increases and like the decreases, the more like asparagus you can buy. So like the ones with like the like less steep slope would be like mean like the asparagus costs less. So since like the price consumption line is positive sloping, that means as the price of asparagus dropped, people are buying more of the other good, which like, right? Which means like as the price goes up on the demand curve, as the price goes up, they're buying less of the asparagus because they're buying more of the other good. I don't know if that made any sense. Like since on the price consumption curve, as the price of asparagus is going down, the amount of other good that they're buying is going up, which is like kind of like not, it wouldn't really be common because you would assume that the more expensive something is. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. Like, since you're buying more of the other good when the price of asparagus is dropping, that means that even though the price of asparagus is dropping, like you're buying like not as much. I don't know how to explain it. It made sense to me when I was like drawing it, but then explaining it is like a whole nother.
Got you. I was confused about that one too, but that makes sense. If the PCC is going up, then
Yeah.
it means you're gonna buy the other goods, so demand's gonna fall, which means the demand curve should be going down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking back at my notes, and I don't know if you guys remember this in class, because I just remember this now. The professor drew like the PCC curve on top, and then she drew the demand curve on the bottom. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I'm looking back at the problem, I could see how it's B, because it's like, I'll just show you my graph. So I'll zoom in a little bit. So as it moves up and it's more upward sloping, like if you drop the prices, if you drop the quantities down, and you label the prices on here, it's going to be downward sloping. So that's how I could see, you could solve it for future problems. Yeah. And I definitely want to check in with Professor about that. Is there any more that you guys want to go over, or if not, we can just go on to the second part? Yeah. All right. Second part it is. There it is. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next page. Move on. Can you guys read that? Is that too small or is that good?
That's good.
All right. Move on to the next problems.
Is 16 not multiple choice? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right. Let's take a look at the next questions. Okay, so these are graphs. Okay, let's just look at these two. Let's just not do the graphs right now. Okay, I'm gonna get the int key up. So we started from up here. There we go. Let's go down here. So this is 11. Okay. And then 12, 13, 14. Going to the graph up here. Fifteen is C. And then here's 16. Okay, so 2 is the substitution effect and 6 is the income. And then this is a normal good. And skipping the graphs. 19 is B, 20 is D. Okay. Which ones do you guys want to go over?
Can you do 14, 15, and 16A?
50, 60. All right. 14 is on the graph right here. And the answer was based on the figure, clothing is a normal good. I'm just re-looking at it. Yeah.
So it went from like basket A to basket B, right?
Yeah.
And then why is that like how is that a normal good?
Yeah. Because I did this problem earlier, so I already had the answer to this one. I want to, yeah. I want to say it's a normal good because like the quantity didn't really change that much. Because if it were an inferior good, the quantity would have changed because it would have been a difference in the substitution and income effect. And the same thing for a given good.
Because in this situation, wait.
It's also because like in the situation you see how from like so from C1 to C2 that's the substitution effect, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then from C2 to C3 that's the income effect.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about clothes here, like that means that in the substitution effect the amount of clothes decreased, right?
Yeah.
Is from C1 to C2 the amount of clothes decreases.
Yeah.
And then from the income effect, which is from C2 to C3, it also decreases. So since it's the income effect and the substitution is going in the same direction, it's a normal curve.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
This was 15 C. So for a given good, when the price of the good falls, the income effect is in the opposite direction of the substitution effect, and the consumption falls.
I thought the answer was D.
No, for 15 it's C.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know.
The only difference between C and D is the consumption. Like it says for C, the consumption falls. Oh wait, I get it now. Oh my god, I'm being dumb. Okay, sorry. I get it.
And then this is 16. Didn't C.
Does anyone have like a good understanding of 16? Because like I'm a little lost on it.
I kind of get it. I can try explaining it.
Please.
Yeah.
So like okay, so for A it says determine the change in consumption rate of good B due to 1 the substitution effect and then 2 the income effect. So basically they in the answer key they like did it like as a total first and then broke it down, but I didn't really understand how they did that. But basically I did it by doing the substitution effect first, and in substitution effect the utility will remain the same. Like so in the like when the problem where it says at the end it says assume that Madam X maximize utility under both price and conditions above, and it says also note that if after the price reduction enough income were taken away from Madam X to put her back in the original indifference curve, which means the original indifference curve means the utility stay the same. So the substitution effect is the change that happens when the price changes but the utilities is the same. So since the last part, like the very last QA, which is 1.5, and then QB, which is 9, that would mean that even though the price changed, the utility stayed the same. So the substitution effect is where it went from the original QA being 3 and QA being 1 to QA being 1.5 and QB being from 7 to 9, because although like the quantity changed and the price of B changed, the utility is still the same. And that's substitution effect. So like on like the answer key on the last sentence no, on the where it says the substitution effect, i.e. is 8 minus 6, which is 2. Like I just did it by doing 9 minus 7 because like that's where like that's how much quantity changed when the utility remained the same. But then the income effect would be then from after the substitution, like after you did like so after you did the substitution effect, which means you're on the same utility curve, which is at 9. Now, since it's a income effect, the utility is changing. So you're going to a higher utility. And so, which means it's the new QB, which is 15. So I did 15 minus 9, which is 6. The income effect would be 6 because the utility changed. And so then the total change of the, or total effect of the price change would just be that 2 plus that 6 that we found. Because this would be like a normal, and then for B, it'd be normal because like after the substitution effect, the amount of quantity of B increased. After the income effect, it also increased again. So since it's going both positive, it's both additive, I think that's what it said. It's normal good.
So for normal goods, the substitution effect and income effect, they're both going the same direction essentially. And then
Yeah.
if it's an inferior good, they would be going against each other. But then how do you know if it's a Giffen good then?
So you know if it's that it's a Giffen good when the income effect is greater than the substitution effect. So like for example, let's say the price of something increased. You would assume that if the price of a good increased, then the consumption would decrease, right?
Right.
So in a Giffen good, the amount in a Giffen good, when you increase the price of let's say like you increase the price of food, then through the substitution effect, the amount you're consuming will decrease.
Okay.
Through the income effect, the amount of food you're consuming will increase, but the income effect will be greater than the substitution effect. So overall, it'll end up increasing. So
okay.
That's where like Giffen good, like if you think about it in terms of examples, like it doesn't make sense. Like when I asked Seda, I was like, can you give me an example of like a real life Giffen good? She's like, there is no such thing. So I was like, okay. But like you basically just got to think of it as like if it's a Giffen good, it'll end up like the overall result of like the consumption will end up going in this like opposite of what you would assume. Like since obviously you would assume that if the price increases, the consumption will decrease. If it's a Giffen good, then the consumption will increase even though the price is increasing.
Okay.
I think the one example Seda gave to us was that like in poverty, like all goods that are like for those who are impoverished, like bread, like if the price of bread goes up, then like because it's such an essential food, they'll just get rid of meat or whatever products they're eating, and they'll continue to buy more bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the same she gave to us. But she said it's so rare that it's like it doesn't really happen that much unless you're examining that particular market. So let me look at. Is there any other questions you guys want to look at from the ones we just did? Okay. All right, so we've been here for like about an hour now. So I just want to ask, do you guys want to keep going? Do you guys want to stop here? Like, do you guys want to go over a particular section?
Can we all kind of skim it and then just write down the ones that we should probably, or we want to do as a group?
Yeah, sure.
Can we like focus on like the 6.6 where
Oh
it's
yeah, that was the last part of your lecture. That part of
like the elasticity and like the equations and stuff? Because I don't really get that.
Oh, like
Yeah.
when she gave us the
Towards
log
the
function.
end of the lecture, I was like lost. I was like,
Yeah, I think we should focus there. It's a very good point.
Yeah, sure. Let's switch over to here. Let's see if we can find some problems that have that. This price elasticity. I'm just looking through these to see if there's one for log.
Well, yeah, she went through that in like 2 minutes. I was.
You said like when we're looking at that, it's just
4.5 has logs.
oof.
Oh.
Whatever
do-
that in this set of questions.
Do we have to like use logs in the function to find an answer, or is it just more like analyzing the function?
I don't know. I haven't read it. I just saw logs.
Oh.
Can we do question 22 together? Because I feel like that covers kind of like the first part of 6.6.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to do this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
I'm just staring at it
Yeah.
and hope like something comes to me. Are we solving something, or are we supposed to be able to interpret?
I was looking at my notes. I think you have to like look at the coefficients, but I don't know what you're supposed to do with them.
Like if it's negative, positive kind of thing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you like,
Um,
it was on the homework. I think you like add them up or something. I don't remember. You do something with just the coefficients.
20 minus 3 plus 4.
I'm gonna try and graph it. I don't know.
I feel like 2 you can figure out because they're both negative, right? So they go the same direction. Or is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a good point. So they're both negative.
In my notes, it says that the coefficient that comes before like the PO is, if it's negative, then they're complements, and if they're positive, it's substitutes. I don't know why, but that's what it
So
said.
if they're negative, they're complements.
Yeah, I'm looking at her PowerPoint notes right now, and it literally just says if the coefficient that comes before like the price of oranges is negative, then the two are complements, and if it's positive, then they're substitutes.
Wait.
And then it says
Mine was for the other one.
Yeah, mine says that if the coefficient's negative, they're substitutes.
oh, what?
Mine says the same thing as I sorry, I was looking away for a second. I don't know who was speaking, but mine says that if it's negative, if the coefficient C is negative, it's a complement, and if it's positive, it's a substitute.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Well, because doesn't that kind of make sense? Because if they're both negative, if one goes down, that means the other one goes down, and that's what
So
complements are.
does it have to both be negative though in order for it to like work?
I'm not sure.
Do you have the example you're looking at? Like from your notes?
I'm just looking at like her PowerPoint notes. Like she just literally wrote like if C is.
Oh.
I have written down the formula that is very similar to this, where it's like the example is Q sub F is equal to A plus B times P sub E plus C times P sub C plus D times I. And that's very difficult.
I have the same one.
You have the same one? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think that because they're negative, that's the difficult thing. Okay. Hold on, I gotta look at this.
And then mine also says after that, it says if negative D, so if like the negative of the coefficient that comes before the I is positive, then it's normal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Can I like screen share like her PowerPoint really quick? Because like it says it right here.
Yeah, sure.
And then
Wait, where'd it go?
I also have the coefficient that I guess for this situation, it would be -3 p sub a. Like if the b
Yeah,
coefficient is negative, it's either a normal or inferior good, and it has a downward sloping demand curve.
oh, okay. This is what her like this is what I was looking at like right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? I can like.
And then just for context, the original formula is 20 minus 3PA plus 4I and then minus PO.
Here, I like split my screen. I don't know. Can you see both of them or no?
No.
Oh. I guess it won't let me share 2 tabs. Oh, there we go. Is it split now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone understand like why though?
Why what?
Like if D is greater than 0, then it's normal. If D is less, like I don't really understand like
Yeah.
how like the reasoning behind it. Like it's
So-
easy to memorize. It's just I just need to.
I guess you
wish-
could. Sorry, I
go
didn't
ahead.
mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I guess since D is the coefficient attached to the income effect, you would want, for normal goods, you would want a positive number to go along with the income. It's like it's a rise in income, or it's I think it would represent a rise in income. That's my reasoning. But if it's a negative D coefficient, then that would make income less than what it is for you to spend. So you wouldn't spend that income on a normal good. You would spend it on an inferior good because it's less. Like you wouldn't pay $500 for a cheeseburger from In-N-Out.
Right.
Does that make
I'm
sense?
just I'm just thinking like, and it's like if it's a positive income, it's like as that income increases, the Q on the left side of the equation is going to increase.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a linear relation where it's like if income is negative, it's going to be like an inverse relation.
Wait, so for this question, are we looking at the coefficients in front of the price of apples and price of oranges, or are we looking at the coefficient in front of income?
So we're looking at the coefficients of each one because what we're doing for this question is we're trying to prove true or false the 3 conditions underneath the statement. So what we're looking at is basically the signs of each coefficient.
Right.
The signs in front of PA in this circumstance, if you're on the left side of the screen, the signs in front of PA will represent B. In the notes, it says that if B is negative, you're going to have a downward sloping demand curve, and it's either going to be a normal or inferior good. Those are the conditions that come with that.
Okay.
The coefficient of income, which would be D in this situation, the condition for that is if D is positive, it will be a normal good with an upward sloping. I didn't write down what this graph was, so I don't actually know which curve it is. If someone has that. No? Okay. And then there are a lot of conditions to just look for with those.
Okay.
So are all of them false?
Yes.
Okay. Because an angle curve can have a negative slope.
Yeah, it can, but then that means apples are an inferior good.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because that means income's going. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think all of them are.
In this case, how do you know like whether apple or orange is like the x-axis or the y? Does it matter?
I want to say apples is on the x-axis just because that's what we're talking about, and we're giving the quantity and the price.
Yeah, I think it kind of just comes down to order of operations, like how X always comes before Y. So it'll be whatever, at least I assume, whatever variable comes first will probably be on the x-axis unless specified otherwise.
I don't think it should matter. Because if you put them on the other axis, it just flips the graph. It's the same thing.
Okay. So in this case, for the third one, it says apple's angle curve. So would that be if you're looking at apple's angle curve, apple would be the x-axis and the income would be the y, right? This is the angle curve.
Yeah.
Okay. I can stop showing this now.
Okay.
And then for the answer, they're all false. Yeah, we were right. And it has all these explanations, right? Yeah. But yeah.
Do any of you guys know when those study sessions for micro econ start? You know what I'm talking about, or no?
I think it's
Wait.
Monday, right?
For Common Core?
I don't know what they're called, but
The core review sessions, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's Monday, but it might be Wednesday.
I thought it was Wednesday.
I think they have two
Yeah, maybe
sessions,
Wednesday.
like one on Monday, one on Wednesday. For econ. I'll stop sharing.
I can check because I think
Those are the
Sarah
PAL
just went.
sessions, right? With the teaching assistant?
I'm not sure.
No, not with the teaching assistant. So it says here the PAL sessions are on Mondays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the one you're looking for though.
Where are you
Like,
seeing
can we go to the? I just got
Yeah.
an email from Seda.
email? Okay.
You should either get an email or a notification on Blackboard. If you're on Blackboard, it should be under announcements.
Can we go to like these like sessions at any time? Like, can we go in like in the middle of one or like?
We probably could.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm happy they have like multiple spots open. So we can
Yeah.
all go in.
And then like Daniel has his on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going to those.
Thing is, I feel like I get everything, and the minute I open those stupid quizzes, I like feel like I lose everything I've ever learned.
Hey, real quick, beginning this week, are we talking about sections 4.4 and 4.5, or are we jumping straight into chapter 7?
I think we're
I
doing.
think it's both. I think Monday is chapter 4, and then I think the following class is chapter 7.
Okay, I'm just wondering for the next class on Monday.
Monday is
so
chapter
I think
4.
Need to get notes in order.
for
Okie dokie.
And there are no quizzes for 4.4 and 4.5, right? Like no pre-lecture, post-lecture quizzes for those. Those are
No, I thought there were.
yeah, I think there was. I think there's one.
It's 5 questions.
Oh, there's a
though.
There's a pre, but there
Oh.
isn't a post.
5
Yeah,
questions.
there's no homework for it. At least I don't think there is.
Okay, cool.
I'll double check.
But there's a quiz on Tuesday also.
Hmm.
Or, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
chapter 7, I think.
Just a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a kid dead.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have a safe drive.
Why are you so nice?
Oh, that's because of an algae bloom with a tank. It's fine. Hi. Sorry about that. My brother's leaving. Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna study up tomorrow and it's a little bit tonight.
Do you guys know if there's a way to see the quizzes after you take them? 'Cause I don't think I can see them.
I don't think you
I don't
can
think
see
so.
the quizzes. You can only see the homework.
Okay.
Honestly, what I do is right before I submit it, I just take a picture of all of it so I can see what I specifically got wrong and then try to find the answer.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so smart. I should have done that.
I should have done that too. So I keep wanting to look back at it.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb that you can't see it or like it doesn't give you an explanation or something.
Yeah.
But help me solve this button's pretty good though in the homework.
That's so helpful.
Honestly, without that, I would have like got half the questions, just not even tried.
Yeah.
Is the chapter
Nice.
6 homework like? Is it decent?
It's long, but
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's not the worst.
yeah, other than that, it's not that bad.
I think there was only one problem on there that I didn't get like after 3 turns, and then there was another one that was really long that I had to just copy down one of the examples word for word in like the help me solve this. But everything after that should be a repeat of textbook material.
All right. I think I'm gonna call it here.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. I hope this helped, guys.
Yeah, it helped. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And
Yes.
answered
thank
my
you.
questions.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No
Have a
problem.
good weekend, everyone.
All right. You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.